can't even see beyond. There are so many people here. I'd like to thank the Highland Hospital Foundation Board, the Highland Hospital Board of Directors, Steve Goldstein, and Cindy Becker for the Heritage Award. I am truly honored. I'm here tonight also to tell you a story. Unlike any story that any woman in this room could tell. The story of a 49-year-old woman, a daughter, a sister, a wife, a mother, mother-in-law, friend, and neighbor. This is my story, and it began Sunday, February 21st, 1999. My husband Michael and I are just back from Florida for 7 days. I go to bed that night seemingly healthy, only to hear later the next day I have stage 4 ovarian cancer. Alone, stunned, and literally punched in the gut, I walked out of the medical office, piled myself into my car for a 6-minute ride home. A little voice in my head starts talking to me. I am really screwed. How am I going to tell Michael? And to give you an idea of the state of my mind, I considered not telling him. Can you imagine how ridiculous that sounds now? The few women I knew who had ovarian cancer died. I can't die yet, the voice is saying. Our daughters, Betsy and Lisa, how am I going to tell them? Lisa's not married. Betsy was married 6 months earlier to Mark Haas, and we don't have any grandchildren yet. How am I going to tell my brother Alan? My parents? Talk about distracted driving. I pull into our garage, stagger into our home, not knowing what to do, who to call, who to tell. I thought that there may be one person who could help me, a doctor friend, Dr. Mary Atanas. I call her, tell her my news, and don't remember much else about the conversation, except for her telling me that she had a friend that she'd like me to see, Dr. Cynthia Angel. That little voice in my head again. I don't really believe in angels with halos. It was clear to me that I was in big, big trouble, and having an angel on my team might be spot on. I agreed to see her, and Mary agreed to make the appointment. As I'm hanging up for Mary, Michael walks in the door from work. I'm sure you can just imagine the hysterical conversation that we had. The only other thing I remember about that day was calling Larry and Elise Fine, dear friends, and telling them the news. Elise had recently retired from the medical center as a nurse practitioner. She offered to do anything and everything I wanted or needed from her as I traveled this journey, and boy did I take her up on it. The next day, Mary calls and tells me I'm seeing Dr. Angel on Thursday afternoon, 2 days away. I have no recollection of those days. I do remember on Thursday afternoon, Dr. Angel walking into the exam room, introducing herself and her nurse, Jane, who there aren't even enough hours in a day for me to talk about her attributes. And Dr. Angel tells me I have stage 3 ovarian cancer. That little voice comes back into my head again. Stage 3, not 4. I'd rather have heard 2, but being downgraded from 4 to 3 is a good thing. Maybe she really is an angel. She told me that she'd try to schedule surgery for the next week. She also told me that after surgery I'd have between 6 and 10 chemotherapy treatments. The protocol was a 27-hour infusion. I'd be admitted to the hospital overnight. We left her office and I was feeling much better, almost relieved. Michael and I decided to go back to Florida as scheduled on Saturday to close our home in Florida and return on Monday. I called my friend Rochelle Gutkin, wintering in Florida, and asked a favor of her. I decided that I needed to empty my closet of all my clothes. Likely that I'll never be coming back to Florida. I didn't want Michael to have to deal with it later. I asked her to take them, donate them, give them away, throw them away, just take them. She sadly agreed. The 2-day trip to Florida was very difficult. Saying goodbye to friends is never easy. On Monday, as the wheels of the plane touched down in Rochester, I turned to Michael and said, no more sadness. I don't want to waste the time or energy. I will need to save up to give ovarian cancer the fight of my life. Cancer found the wrong girl. On Tuesday morning, I meet a friend at Highland Hospital Shop for Women to purchase a wig. I made a decision that I wanted a wig and to have my hair cut to look like the wig. Even though I knew I was a couple of months early, I was in the mood. I remember having a great time, an all-around nice morning. I walk into our home later that day only to find a message on my answering machine saying I missed my pre-op appointment. Oh well, it was totally worth it. They rescheduled, guess what? They rescheduled me and I was good to go for surgery on March 4th. If anyone were to Google March 4th, 1999, Rochester, New York, you would see it to be one of the most horrific snowstorms in Rochester's history. Michael and I made it to the hospital early in the morning. No one in the hospital. There was no one to be seen. Elise Fine also made it in to be with me. We find a receptionist who informs us that they won't be doing anything to me because Dr. Angel probably won't be able to make it in. Very few doctors actually were able to make it in that day, but Dr. Angel was one of the ones who did. The surgery was uneventful. The interesting thing is the date. I was discharged from Strong Memorial Hospital on March 10th, 1999, 13 years ago. I'm not done. I'm not done. As promised, I have more to say. Chemo started 3 or 4 weeks after surgery. The chemo day routine was simple. Michael dropped me off in front of the hospital. I would go to the assigned room, meet up with Elise, change into one of my silk robes, get hooked up to the drugs, and party time would begin. Friends would come in and out all morning, mainly in. Lots of snack food and fun. Around 11:30, Michael would call for a lunch order. I encouraged all to stay for lunch. The greasiest, smelliest food from Don's Original that you can imagine. Partying continued through the afternoon. Elise would leave to prepare dinner for her family, and Michael would come, bringing dinner with him, and stay till I was ready for bed. There were some Eileen-isms during chemo. Never, ever wear a hospital gown. No hospital food. I don't even know how the food tasted, as the tray was never allowed in the room. No sad eyes. Anyone could come and visit as long as they put on a happy face. And no hospital beds until bedtime, because even though I had a deadly disease, I wasn't sick during chemo. The nurses on the floor would lament when they knew I was coming. When I was in the room with my friends, we were so noisy that we disturbed all the other patients on the floor. And if perchance I was alone, they couldn't find me. True enough, I was either visiting 2 friends sicker than myself in the lobby of the hospital or taking a nice walk outside down Elmwood Avenue, always schlepping my IV pole. All during treatment, our lives went on as usual. Cancer was only a very small part of my life. I never missed a family event, an organizational meeting, a manicure, or a party. There's a legendary story of an out-of-town wedding we attended in between chemo treatments. I can't tell the whole story as I have grandchildren in the room. But since there are so many in the medical field here tonight, I will tell you it was about shots. Shots of vitamin T prescribed by Dr. Jose Cuervo. Thankfully, both to myself and the nurses, my treatments ended by January 2000. Our lives went on in a new, sort of normal way. In June 2000, our daughter Lisa married Andrew Kerwin, and in 2002, our daughter Lisa married Andrew Kerwin. In June 2000, our first grandchild was born, the first of 6 grandchildren born in 6 years. Our oldest 2, Samantha and Hillary Haas, are here with us tonight. Through the years, the treatment protocol for ovarian cancer changed, and Dr. Angel and Dr. DeBester established an outpatient chemo suite to accommodate their patients. In April 2006, I discovered that 2 friends would be receiving chemo for ovarian cancer the same day. Both being bridge players, I called the nurses in the chemo suite and asked if I could bring in a bridge game. They said yes, but space was very limited. I came in with a tray table, 2 decks of cards, score sheets, chocolate snacks, and Elise Fine, also a bridge player, and our 4th. We had a lovely time, and other women receiving treatment wanted to know why they couldn't join in. That gave me an idea that both Dr. Angel and Dr. DeBester agreed to try, bringing in diversionary activities to the unit while people are receiving treatment, and thus began the Cancer Wellness Spa. We began in their 8-chair chemo suite and are now, as you heard, in 3 medical infusion centers: Highland Hospital, Unity St. Mary's, and the Golisano Children's Hospital at Strong, serving between 8,000 to 10,000 people a year. We are very pleased to announce this evening that the Cancer Wellness Spa will be providing services at the Cluta Cancer Center starting this summer. Before I finish, I have one loose end to tie up. Remember my purging my closet in Florida because I'd never return. Wrong. Not only have we returned, last year we had to redo that closet to accommodate the many, many more clothes than I ever had before. I'm here tonight telling my story because I was asked. I am able to be here tonight because of some key people. I wouldn't be here tonight if not for Dr. Cynthia Angel. And yes, because of you, I do believe in angels now. What a wonderful person, skillful physician, and great friend. When Highland Hospital says medicine of the highest order, it's Dr. Angel that they're speaking of. Equally, Michael Grossman, my husband, life partner, and best friend, who has loved and supported me for more than 41 years. Even though I'm sure you'll be surprised to hear this, I'm not always very easy to live with. I haven't seen him here, but I have to speak of him. Dr. John Caniglio. I know, I haven't spoken at all about him this evening. And I don't have the time to connect the dots. It might be for another celebration, but I for sure would not be here without him. Thank you if you're in the room. Thank you. I'm forever grateful. And Elise Fine, the greatest friend ever. Life is good. Thanks for listening.